Amazon sellers have been looking to Walmart to be their potential savior from a lot of Amazon's problems for years. My name is Stephen Pope. I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy. But today we're going to be looking at how many ads Walmart is posting in comparison to Walmart, and this data will surprise you. In fact, Walmart is starting to show a higher percentage of ads on its platform as compared to Amazon. So here is a graphic chart. This was posted by Joe Murphy and on LinkedIn, and it shows that 26%, 14 out of 54, results for the term men's body wash were ads on Walmart. 26%. Compare that to Walmart compare that to Amazon at 23% and Target at 24%. They're all pretty close to each other, which is interesting in itself. But basically, 1 out of every 4 things you see on a marketplace right now is an ad. So if you go over to Amazon, you can see here sponsored brands. Those first 5 results, in fact, for this one are all sponsored. So that's 6 out of 6 on the top of the page. And then after you go through and count everything, you're going to get right around that 24% marker. However, I do like to point out that Amazon is front loading the ads heavier at the top, whereas Walmart, if you look at this, seems to be splicing them a little bit more, like an ad in the middle, right there, ad right there on the right, etc. Now, you may get different results depending on where you do this search. So for example, I'm over in the Philippines right now. I don't seem to be getting as many as 26% ads on Walmart, and it may be geo-targeted specific. But the fact is, if you go look at the data, so here is Walmart versus Amazon revenue over time. I'm going to blow this up. And you can see that Amazon has grown pretty consistently since 2021 to 2025. It's a pretty straight incline. Walmart, a little bit shakier, not growing as fast, but still growing pretty good. Now, when we look at the number of growth, it's still not as fast as Amazon by a considerable amount. So if we estimate this at like 360 all the way up to 540, that's got like a 50% growth there. Whereas if we look at this, it's right around 50 to 100. That is 100% growth, but it is a very substantially smaller number in comparison as well. So they're starting at a lower point. They're growing faster, sure, but the amount of dollar figures is substantially, if you look at this again, Amazon is 5x the size of Walmart in its online sales. I like to say that Amazon's half the economy in the United States. Once you estimate all the logistics partners and agencies like me and all of the fact that 86% of households in the United States are Prime members and all of those stats, they add up pretty quick to see the impact of Amazon on the economy. There are a very wider distribution, though, of people who are subscribing to both Walmart, their Plus program, as well as Amazon's Prime program, which is interesting in it of itself. But one thing that I've been very critical of Walmart for a decade is the fact that Walmart cheats its search algorithm. So for example, on Amazon, you might hear of a natively born Amazon brand. That means I launched my brand on Amazon. I never launched it anywhere else. It was born on Amazon and it succeeded. I got to $1 million. I got to $2 million, etc. But then you look at a Walmart, you've never ever heard of a Walmart native born brand. Why is that? It's because that Walmart is taking its retail players and pushing them higher in the search results. Amazon, with no physical presence other than Whole Foods, but that doesn't count, not even comparable, it doesn't do that. Amazon allows anybody to organically rank number 1. Walmart, not so. If you are a retail player physically stocking a Walmart store, you are 80 times more likely to be on page 1 than the next guy. Therefore, it's not surprising that we're seeing Walmart have more ad space, allowing for that nativity, that brand that isn't in Walmart stores, but natively wants to be born on Walmart, to buy its way onto the marketplace, to make it fair for the retailers who have backdoor deals with Walmart already. So I'm not surprised that Walmart has more ads according to that research because of that. Having said that, we also know that there's too many damn ads. So the consumer experience will not appreciate this. And the question that will come out is, well, does Walmart want to be a marketplace, a logistics player, a retailer, or a place where you spend advertising money? We know that Amazon is backing away from logistics and prep center stuff, and as of January of this coming year, you can no longer pay Amazon to do your prep work. That was a pretty big announcement, considering Amazon has long defended the fact that it's a logistics company. Walmart is a retailer who now seems to be interested in becoming a place where you advertise. And Amazon, interestingly enough, on its own right, also makes more money from Amazon ads than almost anything else it does. In fact, it passed AWS about 2 years ago in revenue. So while Amazon is looking at the fact that ads are high margin product, dirt cheap for them to execute, and they're saying to themselves, well, that's where the money's at. From a margin standpoint, they'd be right. AWS, you have to build infrastructure, you have to build computer systems. So the margin will never be comparable. And logistics, it's even worse. Now you have to have an FBA center in 600 locations across the United States. And Jeff Bezos set us up for 1-day shipping times in 80% of the country and 2-day shipping in basically 100% of the country. Crazy stats. It takes a visionary like Jeff Bezos to pull something off like that. I like to think of myself as a visionary, and I'm trying to do crazy things over on my side as an agency with 500 employees and 400 clients and brands and about $20 million in annual revenue. But not that crazy. No way I could pull off what Jeff Bezos did or an Elon Musk by any stretch. I do look up to those guys in the way that they've operated their businesses, but it's interesting to see how this will come out and play and how the consumer will react and what will happen to sellers as they go about doing this. So the question remains, is Walmart a savior for Amazon sellers? Absolutely not. It never will be. However, I do like competition, free market rules. And as we've seen major players come and go, the Blockbusters and Kodaks of the world, when they go bust, which happen to be very large players, are no longer players at all, it is good for competition to come out and start swinging. Now, Walmart is never going to be a marketplace, though. It's a retailer that wants to dip its toes into becoming a place you advertise. Very different. Media company versus logistics versus retail versus, you get the idea. So in terms of what you should do as a seller, should you dabble on Walmart? Maybe. I would say it takes 10 times the effort to succeed on Walmart for 1/6 the return that you get on Amazon. So if you do $1 million on Amazon, be prepared to spend 10 times the effort. Let's say your cost to do Amazon is $100K for that $1 million run rate. Well, going over to Walmart, you're basically going to be underwater from day one. And then six of the results, you won't even get close to that 1 mil run rate. You'll be stuck at 1/6 of that for many years. So that's the challenge. But lots of people like to diversify just in case, and you get the idea on what diversity does in terms of a portfolio. But I am an agency owner, and that is the only income I have in 2025 as of today. I sold my Amazon brand, basically offloaded it at major loss, just to focus on my big hen. Instead of trying to watch multiple chicks hatch over time and watch them scatter, I decided to go all in on my one hen. Alex Hormozi has a similar portfolio philosophy, saying that you shouldn't side hustle 7 different things. Go all in on one thing and make it work. Pay attention to the big hen. So there's no wrong or right to that. That's just, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what Alex did. And you may decide what you want to do for yourself. Many of you are going to side hustle an Amazon brand for 1 to 2 years before you quit your full-time job. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's what I recommend. But if you have multiple businesses and some are doing a couple of million, others are doing a couple 100,000, what should you do? Should you close shop on the couple 100,000 and focus on the couple million? I think you probably should give that a good look. And it's difficult because you've probably spent hundreds of thousands of dollars building those smaller businesses. So when you look at whether you should diversify to Walmart, keep in mind the distraction cost is very high. And the second you take your eye off that hen of Amazon, what happens? You get distracted and a mistake is made. Your ASIN gets suppressed, but because you stopped doing your daily checks on Amazon, Walmart was your focus for that month, you lose money, you lose orders, and you lose your search results and your algorithm is bust. So that's the challenge and why I recommend focusing on Amazon today. Now, having said that, do I launch brands on Walmart? Yes, I do. I own my Walmart guide just as much as I own my Amazon guide. But I'm honest about the results. I'm honest about the fact that it's harder for less return. There are many brands who can still make that justified analysis work for them. And for them, if you need help, check me out at mywalmartguy.com. But in the meantime, I would pretty much advocate Amazon to any product and any brand, and I've seen it do really well, with exceptions, of course. But by and large, I can make a grandiose claim like that, and it checks out 95% of the time. For the 5% that doesn't, I'll tell you in advance before you pay me money. And with that, my name is Stephen Pope. I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy. Check out these other news videos coming out of Amazon and Walmart this week and this month.